Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of
The Dungeon Crashers. I'm Guy Viking.
And I'm Zapil, and today we are going to make our very first build.
In the intro video, we said this is going to be the most subtle and complicated character in 5e. Might be a bit of an exaggeration, but this character is not your basic fighter. It has a lot of depth and a lot of options both inside and out of combat.
Definitely.
It's not quite a tank. For those new players who haven't heard the term, a tank is a melee character that blocks off enemy damage dealers and takes the hit so the weaker characters can do their thing. Such a character usually has high armor class and hit points, and a way to make the bad guys want to hit him instead of the other members of the party. A paladin with compelled duel or a fighter with a sentinel feat are both good examples of this. Think of a tank as an offensive guard in football. He blocks to protect the quarterback so he can make his throw, or makes a hole in the line for the running back to get through. The character we're making today is more like a tight end. He can and does block, but what he really wants to do is be making the big plays himself, and he has the skills to do it.
Definitely. This race we're going with is going to be a variant human. Now, your DM might not allow it, but that's okay. We're taking this race because you get to select a feat at first level, plus 2 +1 bonuses to your ability scores. Some homebrews and some custom lineages, you can get a feat if your DM doesn't allow it, but they should. If you don't, choose strength, constitution, or intelligence-based races that will give you ability boost to those scores.
Like a mountain dwarf would be good.
A mountain dwarf would be very good.
Okay. And for these videos, we're using a point-buy system. Our group usually rolls our abilities, and if you do and get better scores than we have here, and you probably will, just use this as a guide to where to put your ability scores and when to boost them. For ability scores here, we're starting with a 15 of strength, which is going to get boosted by a feat. 13 dexterity, which will also get boosted by a feat at higher levels. A 13 constitution, which is going to get boosted with one of your human bonus points. And a 13 intelligence, which will also get boosted by one of your human bonus points. And then you end up with an 11 wisdom and 8 charisma. These scores aren't great, and hopefully you'll do better, but these will work great for this, fine for this character. For your bonus skill as a human, we're taking history, because there really aren't many other ways to get it in this build. We're using custom background for these videos, but you can probably find a background that will give you the relevant skills. We're taking Arcana and Investigation. Call it the supernatural detective background or something. You're going to be the guy who figures out stuff for the party outside of battle.
Yeah. At first level, we're going with Fighter. You get 2 skills from the Fighter list, Take Athletics and Perception. They're both important for any fighter, and Perception helps you with the whole supernatural detective part. Your feat that you're going to be taking, as far as your race, is going to be Tavern Brawler. It gives you unarmed attacks which deal a d4, but the most important thing, it allows you to use improvised weapons. You also get a +1 to your strength or constitution. We recommend strength, boosting it up to a 16.
Right. For your first fighting style, take 2 weapon fighting. This is where you're going to have to talk to your DM. You're going to use your shield as an improvised weapon. If your DM doesn't allow the shield to count as a light weapon, this doesn't work as well. Your DM should. The shield won't do more than a d6 damage, and maybe only d4. You should also ask your DM about that. And it doesn't weigh very much. If your DM will not, first point out that you could have taken Dual Wielder as your bonus feat, and be swinging 2 longswords and only have 1 less armor class. And if your DM still won't go for it, do that. Take the Dual Wielder. And just adjust your ability scores a little, make sure you get 16 strength to start out with. One change for that would be go ahead and dump dexterity and wear heavy armor. The dexterity was mostly useful for stuff we're doing later on with the shield. But DM should be cool with it. You're doing cool stuff. DMs like cool stuff. The point is to have something to do with your bonus action every round. You're going to get more later. But right now, hitting people is a good option for your bonus attack. You're going to be using a short sword for your other weapon. Now, a hand axe could be a good choice at this level because, well, you can throw it and it does the same damage as a short sword, but later you're going to want the short sword. At first level, your dex is only +1, so you're fine staying with heavy armor. Chainmail with no dex modifier is the same as your half plate with the +1.
Yep. So starting out, your role in combat is basically going to be a fighter. One of our strengths going throughout this build is maximizing your action economy. Each turn you get a move and interact with an object, concentration on something, taking an action, a bonus action, and a reaction. The more you can use of these things to your advantage, the more value you're going to get. A lot of builds just take an action and maybe an attack of opportunity if it presents itself. And that's no fun. It's going to be a boring fight. Right now, for a bonus action, you have an attack with your shield. And for a reaction, you have a possible attack of opportunity. It's a start, but you're definitely going to get more. Your attacks do a d6 plus 3 and hopefully another d6 plus 3 with the shield, which is pretty good, but it is small dice. And your AC should be 18, which is nice at level 1. Go out and get in the face of the biggest guy on the field and beat him up. Then you're going to want to start thinking strategically.
Set up your rogue for sneak attack.
Exactly. Use the terrain to your advantage. Try to corner somebody. You're going to be strategically thinking, because most of the time you're going to be, if you're in a small party, you're going to be the only one up front. So you want to keep the enemy from getting by you to your squishier guys.
Right. Hopefully you have a cleric or something to back you up.
Yeah.
Now, at level 2, we're going to take our first multi-class level out of it's going to be 4 total.
Yeah.
Now, multi-classing early has pros and cons. And in many cases, it's a bad idea, as it puts you 1 level behind on your first ability boost and your extra attack, which is a real cost, especially if you're really going to want that feat at fighter level 4. However, the rewards here are worth it. We're taking 1 level wizard for a couple of reasons. In case you haven't already guessed, we're making an Eldritch Knight. And that wizard level will let you start doing your Eldritch Knight stuff earlier. But more importantly, it gives you ritual casting, a spell book, and a bunch of spells that Eldritch Knights can't get. We're going to take a few more wizard levels later on. Your spells as a wizard are important choices because you aren't getting very many. So it's important to focus on spells you can't get as Eldritch Knight and pick spells that are broadly useful. Also avoid spells that do nothing on a save. Your save DC won't be as good as a full wizard. Now you start with 3 cantrips and 6 first level spells in your spell book. We're going to go through what we recommend from the official rules and why, and I'm also going to mention a few spells from Unearthed Arcana and some third-party stuff that is great if your DM uses it.
Right. Start off with your cantrips. We're going to be going Booming Blade and Ray of Frost. There's going to be a third one. I'll explain that one in a minute. Your Booming Blade is going to be your bread and butter for a long time. It does good damage at higher levels and is often useful as an extra attack. It also lets you tank by locking down the enemy opponent. He can't move away from you. If he does, he takes extra damage. Ray of Frost doesn't do as much as Firebolt, but it slows the enemy movement, especially if they're coming at range towards you and they don't have a range attack. You want to slow them down so you can hit them more as they're coming to you.
Right, a little battlefield control early on.
Right. The third one, if you can take it and nobody else in your party can take it, is Message. It's great if you have a rogue that's far ahead in the party. You send him a message, he replies back to you, yes, move up. It's great. If you're the only one that can take it at this point. If not, take Mind Sliver if you can use it. It's weak, but it gives them a penalty on the next saving throw, and it has great potential. Shocking Grasp is another one to take. It doesn't have saving throw, and it does some utility, which doesn't allow them to use reactions. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good choice. For spells, you start out with 6 in your spell book, and you can prepare 3 of them. Identify and detect magic, you probably never prepare them, but they're rituals, so you'll always have them available, and this will be good for your whole investigating thing. Mm-hmm. Now, Ice Knife is a great early attack of opportunity, and you won't be able to get it as an Eldritch Knight. Catapult, also when you can't get it as Eldritch Knight, is a really cool spell. It's a fun attack from a roleplay standpoint. You just go around, yeet random stuff at the bad guys. It's fun. And Ray of Sickness, also, not when you can get his Eldritch Knight, does pretty good 2d8 damage without a save. And if they don't save, you can stick poison condition on them, which is great. At this level, the lower hit dice from Wizard won't hurt you so much, and you're still probably going to be doing fighter stuff. Right now, Attack and Shield Bash is still your best option, but now you have spells for a variety of situations. If you do want to lock an enemy down, you can use Booming Blade instead of Attack. This is an attack action though, so you don't get your Shield Bash as a bonus action. At higher levels, the damage from Booming Blade will often make it worth it, but right now it's more just to keep them from moving away from you.
Yeah. At 3rd level, we're taking our 2nd level of Fighter. It's a big gain here. You get Action Surge. Use it. You get 1 Action Surge per long rest. Never have that going into a long rest unless you didn't get into a fight. Use Action Surge. I consider it a waste if a fighter doesn't use their action surge before a long
Right.
rest.
A lot of our players, we've had that happen where
Yeah.
we get into a long rest, they have to use their action surge because they were saving it for a key moment, and that key moment never came up.
Yeah. So definitely use it. If it's getting close to the end of the fight, use it as a coup de grace, finish the enemy off, and then you can move on.
Yep. At level 4, we're going to get our subclass. With Eldritch Knight, you first get your weapon bond, which is a really cool ability. Not game breaking, but it's a neat trick. And one example is like if you're using a hand axe, you throw it, you can use the weapon bond to pull it back into your hand. But the important part is you get your spells. Now, since I didn't mention this before, casting a spell requires a free hand. We'll fix this nickel level, but for now to cast, you have to sheath your weapon, which is a pain. But you can sheath it, cast your spell, next round draw it. Not too big a deal.
You get 2 more cantrips now, and they can be anything you want. We recommend Minor Image and Prestidigitation, but both are nice. But remember, saves aren't your friend.
Right, don't want to take a spell that you can just whip with it.
Yeah. Also, you get 3 spells that can be either an evocation or abjuration. Remember, unlike your wizard spells, you don't have to prepare these and always have them, so write them down on a separate list that's not going to be your list for your spellbook. However, you can retrain spells as you gain levels, and if you do so, you definitely want to put the retrained spells in your spellbook. If there's a wizard in the party, you can always swap spells with them, put spells in your spellbook. If you find a scroll or another spellbook, take those spells and put them in your spellbook. You always want to be adding to your spellbook.
Right. Even if a spell doesn't look like it's going to be worth anything, doesn't hurt you to have it.
Exactly. Your spellbook can have as many spells as you want. You only have certain prepared spells each day anyway. So.
Yeah. My favorite choices for spells here are, of course, Shield, because it really just blanks an enemy attack against you. With your 18 armor class pumping yours up to 23, it's going to stop most everything.
Yeah.
And problem is, it does have that problem with having the open hand, which we're going to fix next level.
Yes.
Chromatic Orb and Magic Missile are both great spells to take. Magic Missile especially. Tasha's Caustic Brew is a great spell, but it does nothing if they save, so you got to keep that in mind. And at this level, you're still largely a fighter, but you have a lot more options. Like if you aren't into melee range yet, you can crank out some good damage with your cantrips. And once Abjure Elements works for you, next level at the latest, it's perfect. Not only does it save you from elemental damage, it gives you a boost to your melee attack. That's right up your alley. Now level 5 is your 4th fighter level. We really want an ability boost, but we need the Warcaster feat. It gets rid of that annoying free hand rule. It also makes your concentration easier because you get advantage. And it gives you the really cool ability to make opportunity attacks with a spell. Like Booming Blade is great for that. But if your DM rules that cantrips aren't spells, which most DMs don't do, you can still use one of your other spells like Magic Missile.
Yes.
You also get 1 more first level spell. And you're currently not using your concentration for anything, which is kind of a waste. So Protection from Evil Good is a great defense against everything it works for, which is going to be a lot of the enemies you run into.
Definitely.
Also, your cantrip damage boosts up. So your Booming Blade does good damage. It's actually just as good as making your attack action.
And now we're at 6th level. 5th level fighter. You get your 2nd attack finally. All right. You do more damage. At 7th level is going to be your 6th level of fighter. This is going to give you an ability boost, which we're going to up it your intelligence to 16, making your spell DC and your spell attack better. Due to how multi-classing spellcasters work, you have 2nd level spell slots, but you might not have 2nd level spells. You can get them along your travels. Other people that can cast spells, scrolls, so on and so forth, you can add them, and then you would have 2nd level spells. That's fine. Upcasting 1st level spells, making them do more damage at 2nd level is always a good thing.
Right. Now level 8 is level 7 fighter. You learn a new spell and can be 2nd level. Scorching Ray and Snowball Swarm are both excellent evocations. I would favor the Swarm because it's an attack of opportunity, but either one is good. You'll probably end up having both. If your DM allows Unearthed Arcana, the spell Icing Death's Frost is just extraordinary. It's a cone that does more damage than the Snowball Swarm and has the additional effect that lowers the victim's movement to 0. You also get the ability to make a bonus attack after casting a cantrip. This makes Booming Blade just excellent. It's better than doing 2 attacks.
Yeah.
And it makes all your other cantrips better as well. Now at level 9, we're taking Wizard level 2, and we're going for the War Magic Wizard. This will give you your intelligence modifier to your initiative, which is great, and also it gives you the Ward ability, which allows you to use your reaction to add +2 to your armor class against any attack, possibly saving you a spell slot on shield. Better yet, it gives you a +4 to any save. This does cost your non-cantrip spellcasting on your next turn. This sucks for a straight wizard, but it's really not a big deal for you, and you have no limit on how many times a day you can do this.
That's true. You also get to learn 2 wizard spells. The way wizard is written, you have to be of the level that you can cast on the wizard table. Even though you have the 2nd level slots, they still have to be 1st level spells. This is kind of a funky ruling, and other classes, like the Eldritch Knight for example, can take any spell that they have spell slots for. So ask your DM if you have 2nd level spells, then do so. For example, what we recommend is taking Cause Fear and Charm Person. At higher levels, you're mainly going to be fighting monsters, so Charm Person might not be the best idea, but it works for now.
Right. And remember, save DCs on those. You never know how well they're going to work out.
Yeah.
Now, level 10, we're taking another wizard level. You now have 3rd level slots, but can only take 2nd level spells, unless your DM says otherwise. There are, however, some great spells that you really want. Shadow Blade is an absolute must for you, especially since you have a 3rd level slot to upcast it into. And this will really pump up your damage output, right when you need to really pump up your damage output. Misty Step is also great, and if your DM allows Unearthed Arcana, the spell Mind Thrust is great for you. It came from the Psionic Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah.
It does 3d6 damage and takes away the reaction till their turn. Plus, on their next turn, they only get a move action, a bonus action, or an action. They can only take 1. No save, and it's a bonus action for you, so you can do that and attack. Tasha's Mind Whip is a similar spell, but it takes an action and gets a save, so it's much less good for you. Hold Person is a great one, even though it allows a save. One thing is, at this level, a lot of your enemies won't be persons, so might see less use. And Invisibility is always great. There's just a lot of great spells at 2nd level.
Yeah. At 10th level, your damage output is on par with most 10th level fighters. Your hit points is a bit lower because of the wizard levels, but you have spells to handle most situations. At this point, you are a solid combatant who can do more than just repeat your sword swing over and over again, like most straight fighters do. Now at level 11, we're going to be taking our 8th level of fighter. You get an ability boost. You need strength and damage and con for hit points, about equally. So if you find yourself taking a lot of damage, go with Constitution, but you have pretty good defenses, so we're going to go with strength. You learn another spell at this level, and since you don't have the same restrictions, it can be any spell, you have spell slots. We're going to take Fireball. Okay, there are other options, but Fireball is a good one. It's a great AoE and it has great range. Some other good choices are going to be Haste, Fly, and Spirit Shroud. Counterspell is also one you might want to take, but we're going to do it at another level. Yeah. At 12th, we take our last wizard level. We're also getting another ability boost, so this is going to seem a bit strange, but we're going to take the Resilient feat for dexterity. This will also pump up your dex, giving you a better AC, and half plate or breastplate, and a proficiency with dex saves, which also improves your defenses and helps with something else later, which he is going to explain. You also get more spells. Take anything from the 2nd level that you didn't take in the wizard level before.
Right. Now, level 13, we get fighter level 9. You get Indomitable. It gives you the ability to re-roll 1 save a day. Now, since you have proficiency in both Dex and Constitution saves, which are 2 of the big 3 saves, you have your Ward add 4 to any save, and now you have a re-roll. Your saving throws are really good now. Sadly, you don't get any spells at this level. Level 14 is our 10th level fighter, and you get a lot of good stuff here. Enemies you hit with a weapon attack get disadvantage on saves against your spells. And this combos well with your abilities to cast spells as an attack of opportunity. Because if you hit with a weapon on your action, and then they provoke an attack of opportunity, you can hit them with something nasty. Like Hold Person. You also get another spell, and it can be 4th level. Banishment is a good choice, but it does use concentration, so it can interfere with Shadow Blade or one of your other concentration spells. Fire Shield is nice because it doesn't require concentration. Sickening Radiance is also good. Additionally, if you didn't take Counterspell before, now would be a good time to get it. You also get another Cantrip. Sword Burst might be good, but take whatever you like. Now level 15, which is fighter level 11, Your extra attack now lets you get 3 attacks or 4 with your shield bash, giving you another nice boost of damage. And you get also get another spell which can be 4th level, so take something you didn't pick from the last level. Your cantrips also bump up again.
Now at level 15, your damage output is still very good for a melee character. At this level, your defenses are great, and you have a number of good options as far as spells. Barbarians are going to do more damage, but that's barbarians, as do champion fighters, unless you are using Shadow Blade, in which case you will do better. Battle Masters and Paladins, they'll do more damage, but their resources are limited, especially when they run out of smites and superiority dice. Best of all, you have achieved your goal of maximizing your action economy, and you have plenty of uses for your action, bonus actions, and reactions. And now we're at level 16, which is going to be your 12th level of fighter. You get no spells, but you do get an ability boost, which we are going to take the Shield Master feat, which allows you to shove as a bonus action, which gives you yet another option for your shield. And you add your shield bonus to dex saves that target you, and you can use your reaction to not take half damage when you succeed on a dex save, kind of like evasion. At 17th level, we're going to take our 13th level of fighter. You get your abdominal, gets boosted up to 2 times a day. And you can take spells at a 4th level.
Right. Level 18 is your 14th level fighter. You get another ability boost, which you're going to use for the defensive duelist feat. This lets you use your reaction to add your proficiency modifier to your armor class against an attack. This is plus 6 at this level, so you won't need to prepare a shield spell, and you can retrain it if you took it as Eldritch Knight. Your cantrips get another boost, and you also get another spell which can be 4th and from any school. Dimension Door and Ever to Black Tentacles are both great choices. You could also take any lower level spell that you need instead. Level 19, which is Fighter 15, you gain the ability to teleport 30 feet before or after you take your section action using your action surge. You don't get a spell known at this level, but you will want to retrain a lower level spell to take one, because now you have 5th level slots. If you retrain one you took at 8th, or the one you just took at 14th, it can be any school. Hold Monster is great if you're taking any school. Immolation is a good evocation. Steel Wind Strike is perfect for you, but it is an evocation or aberration, so you have to take it with an 8th or 14th level retraining.
Yeah.
Cone of Cold is a good evocation, but really you can upcast Fireball and still be just as happy. And if you found yourself wanting a wall effect, Wall of Force is at this level. And at level 20, you're taking 16th level fighter. One more ability boost. And I would use this for the tough feat. We haven't put a lot into Constitution, and this will make up for the hit points. And you also get another spell, which can also be 5th. Something to note is, you can retrain spells every time you get an Eldritch Knight level. So there are a lot of opportunities to retrain spells to get higher level ones after you record the first one in your spellbook, so you don't lose it. So you can have a lot of variety. However, remember, you can only prepare 5 wizard spells a day, 7 if you max, capped your intelligence.
Yeah.
So choose wisely. You're going to really be relying on your Eldritch Knight spells. Get your wizard spells for the stuff that you really need to have.
Summing it up, at 20th level, you're still keeping up with most straight martial characters on damage, and you are a lot more versatile. Barbarians do jump ahead on the damage if they have gone straight barbarian, and you are probably just as tanky. Paladins and Battle Masters can still beat you on Nova damage, but you are more versatile, and you're a lot more fun to play. And that's the end of our Eldritch Knight build. If you have any questions or concerns about anything we talked about, please leave it in the comments below. We will get back to you in a timely fashion. I would like to take this time to give a shout out to they've been a great help to us. They've been a great help to me. The Let's Be Heroes podcast. Plug Ultra. They're a great group. They do a DM game that they record. If you join their YouTube channel, the link is going to be in the description below. You can join their Discord channel. You can listen to them live, unedited. They are adults only, trust me. But it's very funny. I love listening to them. And Dungeon Master Tiffany, she actually agreed to be a guest on our show.
Oh, wow.
That's
great.
So expect that here in a couple months. We'll probably have to be through a video cast. But she's going to be on here. She's going to be asking questions. If you have any questions for her, she's only done 5e DMing, so any 5e DMing questions that you could think for her, leave them in the comments below. We'll put them on a list when we have her on. So look forward to that. But a big shout out to Let's Be Heroes podcast. Love you guys. You're all funny. You're all great. Watch them, subscribe to them, notify to us too. You know, hit that like button, subscribe. We'd appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Now in the future, I think for our next build, I'm going to start with something I'm calling it the Zoo Crew, because you notice in 5e there's a lot of non-human races. There's the Turtle, there's the Leonin, there's the Loxodon, and we're going to do from time to time a video doing one of these. Next week I'm going to start out with the first one. It won't give too much away, but it's going to be an artificer.
Yeah, so look for it in the thumbnail. We should have it probably in a week. So
about in a week.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Cheers.
Cheers. Should do a ziggy zoggy. Ziggy zoggy, ziggy zoggy, boy, boy, boy. And for those of you who stayed till the end of the video and haven't tuned out yet, as you can see, we're filming in my garage here.
Yes.
We do have a game room. Unfortunately, it's currently occupied. But we should be getting it back pretty soon. But we tried to make the garage homey. We're going to be putting some tips and stuff, some features up later.
Yeah, we didn't get to it this time, but we'll get to it later. We got this sword set in here, so I'll give you something to look at other than us.
Other than us. Not that we're not great to look at.
I know, right? So, till next time.